So we are now live.
Woo! Woohoo! Yay!
All right. So, do anything fun on the weekend other than you said you went camping, right?
Yep. Went out to Lake La Jolla, one of the nicer camping areas. If you're a camper who doesn't love camping, Lake La Jolla is for you because their trail is all paved.
Yeah.
So you can ride your bike out there. All of that. It's got plenty of space.
Nice.
It's roughly about 5-6 miles. So it's not too bad. It's got a nice little gazebo halfway through.
Sure.
So it's kind of nice. If so it's the non-campers camp out.
That works. Any funny stories or anything like that happened on the weekend, or?
We tried doing backpack meals, which is always interesting. And with backpack meals, you're cooking on a very small stove. And the boys decided to do chicken and rice burritos. So they had to cook warm up chicken,
mm-hmm.
and then also cook like a Zataran's rice
on fire, or
over like a backpack stove. It's like a little Coleman thing about yay high. It's about the size of a 2-liter bottle,
sure.
Maybe a little smaller.
Okay.
And that's what they were cooking on. And you have these very small pans to cook food for like 7, 8, 10 people. So if you're cooking for that many people and you're trying to have everything done at the same time, and you're cooking on these little stoves, how long do you think that took?
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So we learned a lesson that maybe if we're doing backpack meals, we shouldn't try and cook for the whole group in one go. Maybe we should break up into smaller groups and do smaller meals.
Right.
It's out, but they failed for nobody starved, nobody got anything. The only issue I have with that out there is I think it would be good to have some place where you can get clean water on mm-hmm. the other side of the lake, because if you're doing that walk and you're not used to it, you're going to drink a lot of water,
mm-hmm.
Especially because you're in the sun, you're not heated.
Right.
Most of my scouts brought one flask of one canteen, something like that. They should have brought 2.
Sure.
Just by 2/3 of the way through, they were all done with water and just like, and I'm like, yep, right there with you. But I was doing small sips throughout, just trying to keep my body cool more than to
sure.
like kill the thirst. So yeah. Good times.
Yeah, my fun this weekend was Saturday going to Mitchell to watch my nephew play tennis.
Nice.
And not realize I thought it was going to be like a couple hours in Mitchell, then come home. No, it ended up being an almost all day thing.
Yep.
Because it was a multi-bracket tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fun thing was he won his very first game, which was awesome for him. Then he proceeded to unfortunately lose the next 2, but because he won his first one, he was on the winner's side, so he ended up getting 4th place. So
fair enough.
Yeah, at least for his bracket.
Well, better than a kick in the teeth.
Right. True.
Other than that, my deep thought of the week is, why is it always like dueling? Is it only dueling pianos and dueling banjos?
Mm-hmm.
Because quite frankly, I don't see anybody highfalutin doing banjos at 30 paces, and a piano is too big. I can't. It's very hard to play Mozart and then turn.
Well,
so so why not other dueling instruments? Maybe like dueling trumpets, and or not dueling trombones and have like a glove at the end. Right,
that would work. But actually, Donald and Daffy did a pretty good dueling pianos in Roger, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes, but it wasn't at 30 paces. You can't, and no one got hurt. You can't settle a duel that way. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our show. It's Rainbow Live presents Wednesday Night Lights with your hosts
Patrick
and Casey. We got Patrick hiding a little bit behind a couple of things that we're going to show off right away. Patrick, would you like to talk about our brand new box?
I would like to talk about. For our fans, it's Jeff, which we just had a new comic for Jeff the Landshark drop today. We have this lovely Jeff the Landshark box. It's got the same image on both sides. Jeff the Landshark image on the top. So if you're looking for a new short box, we got that one waiting for you here at the shop. This is a re-release of I don't know which issue, but again, same size, same image on either side for the Incredible Hulk. It's got Hulk and Thor throwing down with a werewolf with wings. So That's a new one for me. I've seen werewolves. I've seen winged creatures. I don't think I've ever seen a werewolf with wings. And he's going through the Rainbow Road, and he's not standing on top of it. So that's even more interesting to me.
Right, right. Kudos to anybody that's watching that can actually tell us who that creature is. That's got the wolf with the wings. So,
I've heard bullets with butterfly wings, but never a wolf with wings.
Right. Well, not much for sports ball this week, but I guess for a question of the week, there, Patrick.
Yep.
It's Mother's Day weekend this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and also graduation for a lot of. In your humble opinion, which do you think is more stressful for this weekend, Mother's Day or graduation?
Definitely graduation, because that's a whole family group of stress. Plus, you have all these people who are coming, family, friends, and I've never been to a place where you actually have to have tickets for coming to go see graduation. Evidently, you have to have that here at some of the schools.
Yep.
And that blows my mind, because I'm like, my parents showed up, my grandparents showed up. That was about it. Mm-hmm. But plus you have all these people you're feeding, things like that. And you're, as a parent, you're doing all this entertaining and stuff. As a kid, you're like, I don't know who half these people are you're inviting. I don't, it's like, it's like, oh great, that's our third cousin twice removed that's going to be here. What, this is about me leaving high school. I kind of want to go talk to my friends. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of there's multiple stressors going on there. With Mother's Day, it's, if you're of our age and you don't kind of know an idea of what you can get for your mother at this point, you may have dropped the ball a little.
Yeah.
So it's, like I'll be sending my mom sending flowers this week here, and she'll be more than happy to get it. And things like that. Give her a nice call. Sure. For my wife, the kids are gonna get her a new deck of cards because hers went missing, and they're going to play some games with her. Maybe we'll go see a movie if things pan out. If they don't, she'll be happy with games and playing some games and having some attention from her kids.
Oh, there you go.
So that's pretty easy. It's the only time it wouldn't be as easy is if you're a parent and your kids aren't willing to do the things that they're supposed to do. It's like, I'm going to take my kid shopping. I'm going to get the deck cards and all that good stuff. I'm going to make sure it's squared. But if it's like, oh, hey, I'm supposed to do this, and the kids aren't cooperating at all, that's a different story. And some people do this like, oh, well, it's Mother's Day, and mom really wants pictures of the kids, so we're going to do pictures. We're going to do family pictures on Mother's Day. Don't do that to yourself. Everybody's trying to do that. Pick a weekend. Say, hey, this is when we're doing it. This is so we can go. We can do some shopping. But here's your present now. We're just doing it a little bit later. Right. It's taken care of. And you're not stressing yourself out trying to do too many things on a day where it's already going to be busy.
Right.
It's kind of like trying to go to the bar on St. Patrick's Day. Don't do that unless it's like, unless you really want to go to the bar because you got a group of friends you're going with. It's amateur night. It's not going to be as fun as you think it is. Yeah. It just chill at home. Have a couple of rounds with your buddies in the back. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. Which, speaking of Mother's Day, for those of you that are, like Patrick said, dropping the ball and don't have anything yet, we do have gift cards here at Rainbow for that nerdy mom in your life.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, if she plays D&D and you get her dice, you've won.
Oh, yes. Or if she's collecting that Funko collection, or even just...
maybe she really likes that one comic, or she's she's a closet Stranger Things fan. We can hook you up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just looking in the area that we're in right now, there's plenty of different things that I know that nerdy mom would love, like all those posters over here on the wall. There's Spider-Man, Captain America, I'm sure is in there.
Absolutely. Or if she's more of a specific taste. Maybe she's a baker. We have Star Wars cookie jars that have been here forever.
Yep.
And they are antique. She would love them.
Oh, yes. Chewbacca and C-3PO. So,
yeah. You know what the problem with the Wookiee cookie is?
What's that?
It's always a little chewy.
Can't believe I fell for that. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna get some sports ball done for those of you that are excited about sports ball.
Hooray, sports ball!
Woohoo! Switch the camera here. So our only thing that we got in sports ball this week, let's move this back, move up, is 2025 Bowman Baseball. So we have the regular hobby and the jumbo hobby. Currently, as of right now, we only have the jumbo hobby that we are packing or selling as packs. So those of you that we're just waiting on a couple things to pack out the regulars. So those of you that are really getting into these, as you know, 3 autographs per box on average for the jumbo, and then 1 autograph in the regular hobby. So woohoo, sports ball.
Hooray, sports ball. And we have supplies for our Pokemon people.
Yeah.
We have Pikachu boxes, Pikachu sleeves, Pikachu oversized card cases, Pikachu soft binder holding up to 360 cards, and a Pikachu hard binder which has 9 pocket portfolio setup.
Woohoo.
So if you are a Pikachu person, we've got you Pikachu through and through.
Oh yes, I know we've had those Eevee people who are obsessed with Eevee, but those that are ultimately obsessed with Pikachu, there's your perfect gift.
Yes. Yeah. And for
Friday,
we have our 25th anniversary of One Piece. Ooh, nice, pretty packaging. So this is for going back to the beginning, to the before times. 25 years of One Piece. Yes, an anime that has been going for 25 years is shipping out here. So you are going to have all sorts of nice pieces. The box itself has 24 packs per box, 12 cards per pack, and that's nothing to sneeze at. It doesn't guarantee anything specific, but it's always fun.
Yeah. And those of you that want to know, when we were talking about Pokemon, for all of the new Pokemon stuff with the new cards and stuff like that, pay attention to our Facebook page. We will be announcing when we have those in. So.
And for our Flux people, we have a new edition, which is Mystery Flux. So if you're familiar with the game, every deck you get changes the game. So it can be played by itself or each one individually. And as the game plays, it changes constantly. So if you're into Flux, we've got a new set for you. Along with that, we have a new setup, or 3 new ways to play Zombie Dice. So this is a new extension from Steve Jackson Games. And Steve Jackson, I swear that man sneezes and he has 5 more games come out. It is ridiculous. But this is an expansion to that. So if you are interested in Zombie Dice, this is a fun one to add on for your collection. We have a new Nano Blocks set of Poplio. Did I say that right?
I believe so.
Of Poplio. He looks like a seal who's got the red nose balanced right on the ball there. So if you're into it, they're not exactly Legos. They're Lego adjacent. So if you're into those Lego type builds, this is gonna be something you're gonna like. Someone's gonna like who likes to build those types of things.
And just to let you guys know, because it says 12 plus, that means these pieces, like you said, they're Lego adjacent, but they're a lot smaller.
Yes. So 12 plus. There is a choking hazard. So I understand. Much like my road rage, there's a choking hazard.
You're like Homer when it comes to Bart.
Something like that. It's as I said, I started putting little creatures on my dashboard so I can yell at them, so it looks like I'm talking to someone instead of just screaming into the void. As for our toys, we've got a couple new toys that have dropped before we go to our favorite zone, which is the Funko zone. We have a Ghostface doll. So he is the standard doll type setup with Mr. Ghostface, the knife. The knife is the voice changer, so you've got all that fun stuff you normally think of when you think of Ghostface. That is from Real Toys, so that is available in shop now. And along with that, we have a larger version of the figure based off the 1989 original figure series. This one is Leonardo, so he's going to have the accessories. He's going to have the sword. He's going to have the articulation, just like Leonardo did back in the day, just in a much larger size. Great for a shelf. Great for beating up on the Cabbage Patch dolls. Whatever you're into, this is if you're into playing with stuff, if you're into something cool to display, this may be for you.
Kind of disappointed. There's only one sword, unless I'm not seeing the other one. Nope,
just the one.
That was my favorite part of Leonardo being my favorite, was he had the dual
katanas.
Dual katanas, yeah.
Well, it would have been smarter if he had the katana and the wakizashi, because that's how they truly fought. So it's and two katanas would just get, you'd get in your way more than anything else.
Yeah, true. I guess that brings us to everybody's favorite Funko zone.
You go Funko, and I'll go ahead and go first.
Yeah, you can go first. Yeah.
And speaking of katanas, he's got not one, not two, he's got three. He's Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. So if you are a fan of One Piece, as it is the 25th anniversary, if you are a fan of Zoro, who is probably my favorite character in the show, this is the Funko for you. Along that way, I saw this guy and I had to grab him. One of my favorite movies from the 90s. I watch it way too many times. Martians Attack. We have one of the classic Martians. I believe these figures started out in the 50s, or this design started in the 50s, 60s in the comic books. But the Martians Attack series it's over the top. It's insane. It's got a Chihuahua that gets a human head attached to it. It is out there. But this, so if you're into the classic horror alien invasion stuff, this may be something you want hanging out on your bookshelf or on your desk or whatnot. Just a little behind, halfway to Halloween, we have the Toxic Avenger. We had Martin from the Toxic Avenger at the Halfway to Halloween Fest. But we've got the Toxic Avenger Glow in the Dark, which is proper, and we've got that new movie coming out in a few months now with which is going to be insane. If you haven't seen the original, it's a trip. We're not looking at Oscar-winning performance this year, people, but it's going to be fun. Last but not least, from one of my favorite sequels of all time, we have Rambo Gizmo with Bo from Gremlins: The New Batch. And let's be honest, was there anything quite as cool as seeing Gizmo get all Rambo'd up in that movie? No, I don't think so. Paperclip bow and arrow, flaming tips using whatever he could find in the office. Gizmo throws down.
Right.
Gizmo throws down.
The funny thing is, I'm actually quite surprised, and I'm not giving anybody any ideas whatsoever by saying this, but I'm actually somewhat surprised that hasn't been in the works to redo those movies.
I don't want to redo.
Other than the Toxic Avenger, that one's being.
Yeah, I don't want a redo of the Toxic Avenger, or of the Gremlins. I want a third Gremlins movie.
Well, there you go. Actually, that would probably be a better idea. All right. So with my side of the Funko Land, we're gonna have a nice big guy right here. We have the 8-inch, 6-inch, well, really tall Kylo Ren. Yeah. So
I'd say that's 10-inch, maybe.
Is it 10? Oh yeah, you're probably right. Who cares, right?
It's cool.
Size only matters.
It's cool. It'll look cool on a bookshelf.
Oh yes, definitely, and glows in the dark, so that's even better. So I wonder if it's just. It'd be cool if it was like, you saw in the movies where the red on his mask and the lightsaber all glowed. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
And then moving on back to a little bit of a horror, we have the
American Horror Story Hotel.
Yes, that's it. American. Yep. And we have Holden. So those of you that are a huge fan of that series, actually, we'll just leave that there. We have that. We have other selections, I believe, still out there from all of the different seasons that they've had.
And their new series I believe it's only on Hulu, the American Horror Stories, has been really good.
Mm. Is that just a jump around kind of thing?
It's more of an episodic kind of thing.
Sure.
So it's each episode is its own controlled. It's similar to the Alfred Hitchcock Presents type of vibe. Sure.
I was actually going to use a more modern reference, but I couldn't think of the title. The show that the girl who played She-Hulk was on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what that was called, but anyway. And then we have Spider-Man Fear Itself suit. So those of you that want to continue it, just like with Deadpool, just like with Stitch, we have all of these different suits for Spider-Man. So add that to your nice collection. And then last but not least, we always have to have something that everybody can enjoy. We have the 65th anniversary edition of, I think it's labeled wrong because it says Mickey Mouse on Casey Jr., but I see a little bow on top of Mickey.
You are correct.
So we have a Minnie Mouse inside of a Mickey Mouse box.
So that may be a rare Funko mismatch or things like that. I don't know if it got mislabeled or got shipped to the store that way. We may have to do some digging on that.
Yep. So, woohoo! And then that takes us out of Funko Square. Well, do we have anything else we wanted?
No, I'm sure we still have a ton of leftovers from Free Comics Day this weekend.
Yep.
Make sure you're checking our Facebook page for any updates on the newer Pokemon product, as we're supposed to be getting more in. We are currently out, but we're supposed to be getting more in, and as soon as we know, it's going to be on our Facebook page.
And the last re-mention of, if you have any ideas that you want to have for Mother's Day,
yep.
We have plenty here, and if you can't find anything here specifically, but your mom could probably find it, or wife, or whatever, we definitely have gift cards.
Exactly.
So you guys have a good rest of your night. We are open till 8 if you want to come see us tonight. If not, we're open again tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So
yes.
You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weather outside, and drive to arrive and be safe.
Amen.
Woohoo!